One happy Saturday, September 21st, 2019. We're going to talk about football. We're going to talk about college football, and we're going to talk about baseball in this video. Sorry, I haven't done any screen capture videos in a while. Been sick, been fighting off poison ivy, but we're starting to see, we're rounding the bend here. We're starting to see the horizon of this poison ivy, so it's feeling a little better. Anyway, I want to talk about my survivor pool pick of the week for NFL. So this is free for everybody. If you'd like a copy of the Week 3 NFL file that has all the games, if I open up the slicer here and show all the games, you can see everything. We have current season stats, current season player stats predictions. We did lose the Thursday night game because Tennessee's defense didn't show up and Jacksonville outscored, but there were some signs that Jacksonville had offense in the file, so you could dig into it. Anyway, my pick is the Rams over the Browns. And after looking at the schedule, I wanted to leave the Patriots off and save them for a later week. I had Dallas in the second week, and I had the Chiefs in the first week. I like the Rams over the Browns. Browns are a decent team. They did beat the Jets last week pretty handily, but I think the Rams are just a really strong team. And even though they're on the road, this is the safest one in my opinion. And I like this as a survivor pool pick. So if you'd like to see everything else, we have breakdowns of everything. I can't open this up in previous weeks to kind of show you how we've been doing. We had a good week one, week two not as good, but we're starting to transition to new statistics. So you start to see we were profitable at the top games. I guess we won. We won the top 5 games by win percentage here. Then the Bears lost to the Broncos. But we had the Broncos. Sorry, the Bears beat the Broncos. We had them in win percentage. Sorry, this is it right here. This is the one by win percentage. I know it's complicated. There's a lot of different ways to look at these things. But anyway, point is, it's growing. We'll talk more about NFL. And if you want to see week 3 and subscribe, go subscribe to the weekly or the monthly or the annual. Let's talk about college football. So these games are going on right now. And I spent a ton of time yesterday or the day before with the college football file to try to get this thing to have better projected scores and to mean something, because if we started to look at previous weeks, which I don't want to do, it's not really making sense in the previous weeks yet because there's limited stats. But we're having a better week so far as I've been watching the games, and like you could check this out by game times and who we have. And some things I know is like Michigan State is beating Northwestern pretty handily at a score something like that. Boston College is winning against Rutgers, at least they were. So there's some interesting things here. You see, it flips it out positive and negative percentage, so you get to see both sides of the game. This file is becoming very interesting because there's so many games. So, for example, as I'm recording this video, you're going to be able to see games like all these late games. Okay, you're going to have some availability to wager and stuff. Now, well, what I look at as I'm browsing through this is I think you've got a money line offered right here, and you have a win algorithm percentage that's being calculated uh, by all these things here, looking at points per game and points allowed and standard rating and strength of schedule and all these things, ways we can look at this. But it's supposed to isolate everything and also give us a point projections, which are starting to look a little better. Now, so what I see here is there's a huge favorite of Oregon over Stanford. Minus 400 is probably a reasonable money line just to take them on a big parlay there. Toledo over Colorado State, that's a closer game by point projection. So you can see how that's a better pick at negative 400 than this negative 380 because there's a big difference here. I like this also. So Louisiana Tech over Florida International, that's a good one. New Mexico State, a little closer. But they're supposed to be outscoring them. I don't know. This stuff's really going to develop as we go. Is there anything cool in here? Any underdogs? We like Georgia State over Texas State, but they're away. So we're not taking into account home or away factor, which I need to start doing. Then you start to get into the negatives, and there's also one here which is interesting, which is Notre Dame at Georgia. Predicts they're going to beat them by point projections and win strength, and they're plus 500. That's hilarious. So definitely consider taking like the spread at plus 14.5 on Notre Dame. I don't know why it's doing that. Stuff's weird. Don't really trust all this yet, but it's getting fun. So if you're interested in college football, you should subscribe to this. Get on a weekly or monthly on this one as well. Let's talk baseball because baseball's been crushing it. and you've been making money if you've been on the baseball list lately. So what do I mean? Well, yesterday, for example, we went 10-2, 26% ROI. You could have run a lot of these covered the run line. Houston covered the run line. Washington covered the run line. Dodgers covered the run line. Milwaukee covered the run line. Oakland covered the run line. Minnesota did not. Atlanta covered the run line. White Sox covered the run line. Arizona covered the run line. Cleveland, I believe, also covered the run line. That's insanity. That is some great stuff there. How? So that's from Friday. What about Thursday? Oh, perfect day. 5-0. Bam. And I believe everybody covered the run line here on this day too, I think. Insanity. You have to go back 3 days for us to have a losing day. Then we had another winning day. A lot of cool stuff going on in the baseball file. So when we talk about baseball today, I have a lot of the lineups in, but there'll be another update later. So this is on discount now. It's like $50 for the rest of the season and playoffs, which is awesome. Last season, by the way, I do predict the Dodgers winning the World Series. I said it a month ago, I think, and I still mean it. So anyway, let's talk about the games today. So Houston, Milwaukee, Oakland, a lot of usual customers like yesterday, actually. The only difference I see there, well, Tampa Bay was on yesterday too. St. Louis, who was up 1-0 last I saw, they're our underdog pick of the day. So that already is going on. And Mets and Lakely, there's probably going to be another big day today. So consider that. If you're going to look at run line stuff, you look at projected scores and overs and things like that. Arizona was helpful and hit their own over 8.5 by just doing it all themselves last night against San Diego. Minnesota usually puts up runs. They got a little halted yesterday, but left some guys on. I think Houston's been blowing people out. Likes Cleveland, likes Oakland again. Who's playing Detroit? Anybody else? You take them on the money line there, the White Sox. So, all right, I know it's been a long video, but there's so many sports going on, and I got college basketball coming up, and hockey needs to get a rework because I'm a hockey player, and if I don't get hockey working, well, then I'm a loser at life. And let's not be losers. Let's win. So we're out for now. May our picks be winning.